The skies above Earth had never looked so menacing. Hundreds of silvery, crescent-shaped ships hovered above the continents, casting strange shadows across the lands. They didn't fire. They didn't speak. They simply watched. At first, humanity panicked. Then, curiosity overtook fear. The alien fleet sent a signal, a universal peace call, encoded in music and light. And with it came their emissaries, tall, graceful beings called Illyrians, armored in radiant suits, faces partly hidden behind crystalline masks. They claimed to come not for conquest, but for alliance. Earth was on the verge of a cosmic threshold, they said, and they sought harmony, not war. Among these emissaries was Commander Vale RHYX, a decorated soldier of the Illyrian Armada, known for his strict discipline and unmatched combat ability. He had no interest in diplomacy or Earth's politics. He obeyed orders. That was his purpose. But everything changed when he met Princess Amara Lysandra of Arentia. The kingdom of Arentia was one of the last remaining monarchies, nestled in the Swiss Alps, where old traditions met modern marvels. Princess Amara, the only child of King Edric Lysandra, was not the typical royal figure. Educated in astrophysics, a champion of peace, and beloved by her people, she played a key role in the Earth-Illyrian negotiations. Amara met Vale at a diplomatic summit held in the floating city of Lysarion, a neutral meeting point suspended above the Atlantic, built by Earth and Illyrian engineers alike. He stood by his commander's side, still and cold. Amara, with her silver blonde hair and fiery gaze, noticed him immediately. His expression was unreadable behind the translucent half-mask, but something in his posture made her curious. After the summit, she approached him. "You didn't say a word today," she said, offering him a cup of Arla tea, a rare blend that Earth had gifted to the Illyrians. "I am not here to speak," he replied, voice deep and mechanical through the translator, but not unkind. She tilted her head. "What are you here for?" Vale hesitated. "To observe, to protect, to serve." "But not to feel?" she asked, a teasing glint in her eyes. He said nothing, and yet, when she walked away, he turned his head slightly, watching her as her white gown fluttered like a whisper behind her. Weeks passed. Earth and Illyria drew closer in cooperation. Cultural exchanges began, and Vale was assigned to Arentia as a liaison. He shadowed Amara during diplomatic missions, royal galas, and humanitarian visits. She spoke often, laughed with others, and occasionally turned him with questions he rarely answered. Yet, he was always there. One night, in the palace observatory, Amara found him gazing through the ancient star map. "You know our constellations?" she asked. "I studied them before we arrived." "And what do you think of them?" "They are primitive, but poetic." She laughed softly. "That's the most opinionated thing you've ever said. I did not intend to offend." "You didn't. I'm glad you shared it." They stood in silence for a moment. "Do your people have myths?" she asked. "Yes. We have stories of the star bond, an eternal link between souls, forged in the fusion of two galaxies." "Sounds romantic." "It is not romance. It is destiny." She turned to him. "Is it rare?" "Almost impossible. Only one bond in 1,000 years." She stepped closer. "Wouldn't it be beautiful if two beings from completely different worlds were bonded that way?" He turned to her then, the mask's light dimming. "Princess, such thoughts are dangerous." "Why?" "Because I do not know if I would survive them." As the alliance deepened, not all humans trusted the Illyrians. A faction known as the Earth Purists rose in resistance. One night, during a peace rally in Arentia, an explosion shattered the stage. Chaos erupted. Amar was thrown to the ground, unconscious. Vale found her within seconds, shielding her with his own body from falling debris. His mask cracked. Blood oozed from the side of his head. Still, he carried her to safety. When she awoke in the medical bay, she saw his face for the first time, part human, part radiant energy. His silver eyes burned with emotion. "You're hurt," she whispered. "It does not matter. It does to me." She reached up and touched his cheek, fingers trembling. He flinched but did not pull away. "I dreamt of you," she said, "before I even knew your name." Why would a princess dream of a soldier? Because even stars can fall. He lowered his gaze. "Then let me fall if it is to you." Their secret love blossomed in shadows. They met beneath starlit skies, behind palace walls, between meetings and battles. He taught her Illyrian words. She showed him Earth's music. They kissed under the artificial lights of the galaxy garden. And in that moment, Vale felt the star bond spark. But love between an alien soldier and a human princess was not part of any treaty. And soon the consequences arrived. The Illyrian High Council summoned Vale. A soldier fraternizing with a royal, especially a human, was a breach of sacred code. He was to be reassigned, forbidden from returning to Earth. Vale chose rebellion. He returned to Earth unauthorized, seeking Amara. But the Earth purists had learned of their affair and saw it as betrayal. They kidnapped Amara, accusing her of treason. When Vale found the compound where she was held, he tore through the fences with fury unlike anything the Earth soldiers had seen. His eyes glowed, his armor cracked with cosmic energy. But he arrived too late. Amara was dying. A poison blade had pierced her side. She smiled when she saw him. "Vale!" "No, no, no, no," he whispered, cradling her. "I'm not afraid," she said. "Not if I die in your arms." "You will not die. I will give you my life." He pressed his hand to her chest, invoking the star bond, whispering ancient Illyrian rites. His energy surged into her body, merging with her soul. She gasped, and her eyes began to glow. The Illyrians arrived moments later, not to punish, but to witness. The star bond had been forged. A year passed. Earth and Illyria stood not just as allies, but as family. Princess Amara, now half human, half Illyrian, ruled as the emissary queen between the two worlds. Vale stood by her side, no longer just a soldier, but her equal. Together, they founded the Celestial Accord, a coalition of planets dedicated to peace, understanding, and shared evolution. The story of their forbidden love, of the soldier who fell for the princess, spread across galaxies. They became a symbol, not of war, but of what it means to truly see someone, not for what they're made of, but for who they choose to be. And among the stars, their bond still glows, bright as the first day they met.